Hi everyone, this is the New Muscle Challenger. Welcome you to another video. I hope you enjoy it. Today we are going to be covering one of my favourite detectives of all time, and also my favourite female detective, Captain Olivia Benson, as portrayed by the talented Mariska Hargitay. I hope you enjoy the video. Without further ado, let's get things started. Captain Olivia Benson is the commanding officer of the Manhattan Special Victims Unit. Before taking command of the unit, she was a detective in the same unit, and for 23 years she has devoted herself to the apprehension of the most heinous of criminal offenders and the protection and rights of their victims. Born on February 4th, 1968, Olivia Benson was the product of the sexual assault of her mother. This would lead her to endure many years of abuse at the hands of her mother during her childhood. Her mother would then die as a result of injuries sustained in a drunken fall in the year 2000. Olivia Benson also has a half-brother named Simon Marsden, who she found out about through an illegal DNA analysis to determine kinship. Simon would pop up in and out of her life a number of times. The first time was in 2012 when it turned out the fact that he had a family of his own with a daughter who he had named Olivia after aunt. And in 2019, Simon and Olivia would bump into each other again, and Olivia would want to have lunch with him and with his adopted nephew Noah, but tragically Simon died of a drug overdose before this could happen. On two separate occasions, Olivia Benson has been appointed the legal guardian of a child who has been in the care of one of the victims and people that she has crossed paths with during her detective work. The first time was in 2010 when Olivia Benson was appointed the legal guardian of Gladys Dalton's cocaine-afflicted premature daughter. She would pass away after Benson gave permission for docs to perform the surgery that would save her life. The second time was when Olivia was appointed legal guardian of Calvin Arliss, but her legal guardianship was terminated by Calvin's mother through his paternal grandparents. Despite this, Calvin and Olivia would maintain contact throughout the years, and in 2014, Benson was the court-appointed guardian of Noah Porter, an orphan baby who she had rescued from a pornographic ring. After a trial period of 1 year, Benson was given the opportunity to legally adopt Noah. Despite a year of hardship due to Benson's demanding career and Noah's ongoing health issues, Olivia Benson would decide to adopt Noah the next year. Throughout her career, Olivia Benson has had two partners. Her first partner was Detective Elliot Stabler, who she shared a kindred spirit with almost. She would work with him for between 12 and 13 years, but after his retirement, she would be partnered with Detective Nick Amaro until she took the sergeant's exam and took over as the Special Victims Unit commander from Captain Donald Cragen. Later, she would make her position as SVU's commander permanent by taking the lieutenant's exam, and then in 2019, in recognition of her many feats and accomplishments, New York Deputy Police Chief William Dodds promoted her to captain. Benson is deeply sympathetic to victims of assault of all kinds, and as will often believe their stories, this ability to sympathize and empathize with victims is a tremendous asset in her police work. She also has put herself at risk a number of times to bring sexual offenders to justice. She once went undercover in a woman's prison to catch a sexual offender, and very nearly ended up being assaulted herself. But luckily, Detective Odawa Finn Kudwola, who had been undercover as a guard, saved her just in the nick of time. Benson's greatest challenge came when she was kidnapped by the serial killer William Lewis. He made her watch as he tortured his attorney's mother, then he would kill a police officer who attempted to pull him over. He would then torture her for 4 days, however Benson broke free, attacked him, then handcuffed him. However, Lewis would try and have the last laugh, and he would taunt Olivia to the point of making her lose control, and she would beat him within an inch of his life. After a harrowing trial, Lewis would escape prison by faking a cardiac arrest. He would then assault a teenage girl and kidnap her sister. In order to get Benson to tell the truth about her testimony in court, he would then taunt her before committing suicide in front of Benson and his latest victim. This experience with William Lewis would leave many psychological scars on Olivia, but also a renewed sense of conviction and sense of duty and purpose. Benson also has a strong maternal instinct, to which her partner, Elliot Stabler, has said would make her a great mother, which, when on the job, makes Benson very empathetic, and she will often comfort and bond with victims. However, she has gone too far when helping victims, especially in her first and second years with the Special Victims Unit, which has landed her in trouble a number of times. Due to her past and the nature of the crimes that she sees every day, she has a strong hatred of sexual offenders, child abusers, and domestic abusers, which she doesn't hide. She also hates it when anyone lies about being assaulted, particularly when it involves someone who she wholeheartedly believes herself. This is particularly true with the April Trust and Kristen Hartwell cases. Benson can speak Spanish, Russian, Italian, and French, and she's also able to read the Miranda rights in 2 or 3 other languages. It can be said that Benson and her mother do care each other a great deal. For example, Serena was worried about Benson working with the Special Victims Unit. However, Benson did feel neglected by her mother when she was in love with an older man. Benson became involved with a child who had been neglected by her parents in the same way that Benson felt neglected by her own mother. Benson has the fact she has fallen in love with an older man, and she couldn't have loved him more. Benson also had a rather notable incident in her life for when she was 16. An older student of her mother asked her to marry him. And when she told Serena that she was leaving, her mother, who had been drinking at the time, flew into a rage and went after her with a broken bottle. Benson kicked her into a wall and then ran to Simon Bryce for help. After that, she would ultimately decide her career path. She has been involved in 6 officer-involved shootings, 2 of which were non-fatal, and she has had a number of relationships, most notable being with that of her fellow SU Detective Brian Cassidy, which was on and off, and with IAB Detective Edward Tucker, which seemed to be becoming very serious. However, Ed Tucker would later be diagnosed with terminal brain cancer and would commit suicide so he could finish his life with dignity. Benson has since been involved in a number of assaults, but has always bounced back, and in 2021 she was involved in a car accident and was injured with her leg broken. She still worked, but mainly in the office, which she found very difficult. Olivia Benson has recently run into her partner Elliot Stabler again, and has once again taken an active role in he and his children's lives, most notably his youngest son, Eli, who, ever since the death of his mother, has been experiencing trouble. It is unclear whether or not Benson and Stabler have had feelings for each other, but one thing is for certain, their friendship still remains strong, and both of them will endeavour, and maybe perhaps in time, they might realise what they have always known. I hope you enjoy this video. This is the Universal Challenger signing off, and ask, like, and comment, and if you like what you see, please subscribe. I hope to catch you in the next video. This is the Universal Challenger signing off. Farewell.